Imagine this. You walk into a room full of powerful people, but no one looks your way. You speak up, but your words seem to disappear into thin air. You try to connect, but it's like you're invisible, like your presence just doesn't matter. Ever wonder why that happens? Why some people naturally command respect and attention, while others get ignored, forgotten, or passed over? It's not luck. It's not just about who you know. It's about tiny habits. Small things you do every day that either push powerful people toward you, or drive them away without you even realizing it. In this video, I'm going to expose the 10 weak habits that make powerful people ignore you, habits that keep you stuck on the sidelines, no matter how talented or hardworking you are. These habits look harmless, maybe even normal, but powerful people see through them like a glass window, and they decide who's worth their time, and who's not. If you want to finally break free from being invisible, if you want to stop chasing approval and start commanding real respect, then you can't afford to miss this. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see yourself and your relationships in a completely new way. And you'll learn how to stop these weak habits dead in their tracks, so powerful people can't help but notice you. Ready? Let's get started. Habit 1. The comfort curse. Have you ever found yourself turning down a challenge because it felt easier to stay where you are? Maybe you avoided speaking up in a meeting, or you didn't take that risk because it felt too uncomfortable. If so, you've just met the comfort curse. The comfort curse is a quiet, sneaky habit that traps many people. It's the urge to cling to safety, routine, and the familiar, even when those things hold you back. Powerful people don't just tolerate discomfort. They seek it. They know that real growth happens on the edge of risk, not inside a cozy bubble. Think about the most successful leaders you know. They didn't get there by avoiding hard conversations, tough decisions, or moments when they felt exposed. They leaned into those moments. They stepped out of their comfort zones again and again. Now, imagine you're in a room full of powerful people. They're watching. They want to know who will step up and who will shrink back. When you choose comfort over challenge, they see it, even if you try to hide it. And when they see it, they lose interest. Why? Because power respects courage. It respects boldness. If you don't show you can handle pressure, why would anyone trust you with it? Here's a story to put it into perspective. There was a young professional named Sarah. Sarah was smart, kind, and hardworking. But every time an opportunity to lead came up, she hesitated. She worried about making mistakes. She worried about what others would think. Over time, her hesitation became a pattern, and the leaders around her stopped inviting her to important projects. They didn't doubt her skills. They doubted her willingness to face discomfort. That's the comfort curse in action. It's not about talent. It's about mindset. But here's the good news. You can break this habit. Start small. Take micro risks every day. Speak up once when you'd usually stay quiet. Volunteer for that task that feels a little scary. Each time you choose growth over comfort, you send a signal. You are ready to be seen as someone who can handle pressure. Remember, comfort is a trap. Real power lives just outside your comfort zone. So, ask yourself, are you choosing comfort, or are you ready to grow? Habit 2. The craving for approval. Have you ever caught yourself doing something just to make others like you? Maybe you change your opinion in a group just to avoid conflict. Or you share your achievements, hoping someone will notice and praise you. This is what I call the craving for approval, a habit that quietly weakens your presence, especially around powerful people. Powerful individuals don't seek approval from others. They build their confidence from within. When you constantly look for others' validation, it sends a clear message to those watching. You don't trust yourself. And in the world of power, self-trust is everything. Think about it this way. If you depend on applause to keep going, what happens when the room falls silent? What if no one notices your efforts? Your energy drops. Your confidence fades. And powerful people notice this. They see you as someone they can control because you rely on their approval. Let me share a quick story. There was a man named Jason working in a big corporation. Jason constantly sought compliments. He would bend over backward to impress his boss, hoping for praise. But every time he didn't get the recognition he wanted, he became anxious and less effective. His co-workers, many of them powerful in their own right, started ignoring him. Why? Because his need for approval made him seem weak and predictable. The truth is, the need for approval is exhausting and never-ending. No matter how much praise you get, it's never quite enough. It traps you in a cycle of trying to please everyone but never truly standing for yourself. So, how do you break free from this habit? First, start making decisions for your reasons, not theirs. It can be as small as choosing what to wear or what to say in a meeting. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because I want others to like me? Second, practice silence and reflection. When you crave approval, pause and breathe. Reflect on why you feel that way. The goal is to build your own internal approval system, your own confidence that doesn't shake with others' opinions. Finally, remember this: powerful people respect those who have their own backbone. They don't admire followers. They respect leaders. And leaders stand firm in their own truth, even if it means risking disapproval. If you can stop chasing approval, you start commanding respect. And that shift will change the way powerful people see you, from someone they can ignore to someone they have to notice. Habit 3. The clumsy tongue. Let's talk about something most people don't realize is holding them back. What I call the clumsy tongue. It's that habit of talking too much, saying things without thinking, or spilling way too many personal details. And guess what? Powerful people hate it. Why? Because every word you say gives away a piece of your power. When you talk without control, you hand your weaknesses right to the people around you, sometimes without even realizing it. Imagine you're in a meeting or on a date or even just chatting with someone important. If you ramble on, overshare, or say things you later regret, you lose respect. It's like showing your cards too early in a poker game. Powerful people value control, especially control over their words. They speak with purpose. They pause before answering. They don't fill silence with noise. And that's why they stand out. If you want to be noticed by the powerful, you have to learn how to speak like they do. That means fewer words, but stronger words. Words that hit the mark every time. Here's a quick tip. Start practicing silence. Yeah, silence. Instead of rushing to fill every pause, let it breathe. When you pause, it shows confidence. It makes people lean in to hear what you're about to say. Another thing, watch what you share. Not everything needs to come out of your mouth. Sometimes less is better. Ask yourself before speaking, is this information helping me? Or is it giving others an advantage over me? Also, ditch the fillers, words like, and they make you sound unsure. Powerful people don't sound unsure. They sound sharp, clear, and in command. Remember, your words shape how others see you. Speak carelessly and you come off weak. Speak with control and you command respect. So, if you want to stop being ignored by powerful people, start by taming that clumsy tongue of yours. Because how you talk is your first move in the game of power. Habit 4. The praise addiction. Have you ever met someone who seems almost desperate for praise? Like they can't go a minute without someone saying, "Good job," or "You're amazing." Maybe it's a coworker who constantly brags about every little thing just to get a compliment. Or maybe it's you, scrolling through your phone, waiting for likes and comments to boost your mood. This is what I call the praise addiction. And trust me, it's a silent killer when it comes to being respected by powerful people. Why? Because power doesn't hang out with approval seekers. Here's the deal. Powerful people rarely hand out praise like candy. They don't say "great job" just because you showed up or did the bare minimum. Praise for them is a currency, a tool to motivate or manipulate, not a feel-good trophy. If your self-worth depends on others telling you you're good enough, guess what? You're giving away your power. Powerful people see that. They know if you need constant validation, you'll bend to their will or disappear when the spotlight's off. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some people only perform when someone is watching? They're loud, they're flashy, but when things get tough, when no one's cheering, they vanish. Powerful people respect those who are consistent, who work hard even when no one's applauding. Now, I'm not saying appreciation is bad. We all want to feel seen and valued. But when praise becomes your fuel, it's a trap. You lose control over your own confidence. You become dependent on other people's opinions, and that's a dangerous place to be. So how do you break free? Start by building quiet confidence. That means learning to trust your own judgment without needing a crowd to confirm it. Celebrate your wins privately. Keep a journal. Remind yourself daily that your value isn't tied to applause. Shift your mindset from, "Did they like what I did?" to "Did I do my best?" That's the difference between weak and powerful. Powerful people aren't interested in people who chase applause. They want those who stand firm, even when the room is silent. Because real power, it's quiet, it's steady. It doesn't need an audience. Habit 5. The cracked core. Have you ever felt like you're constantly changing who you are just to fit in? Maybe you agree with your friends 1 minute, then flip your opinion the next time you're with someone else. Or maybe you keep quiet about what you really believe because you're scared of rocking the boat. This is what I call the cracked core, when the foundation of who you are isn't solid. It's like a cracked mirror. Every time you try to see your true self, the reflection is distorted. And guess what? Powerful people see right through it. They can spot someone with a shaky core from a mile away. Why? Because when power is on the line, trust and reliability matter more than anything. If you can't stand firm in who you are, how can anyone depend on you? One day you say yes, the next day you say no. One day you stand by your word, the next day you change it without explanation. That kind of inconsistency is dangerous in any high-stakes situation. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a team working on a big project. Everyone's counting on each other to deliver. But there's that one person who constantly flips their position. One day they're all in, and the next they're doubting everything behind closed doors. What do you think happens? The team starts losing faith in that person. They become the weak link. The powerful don't have patience for that. Now, how do you fix this? First, find your core, those non-negotiable beliefs and values that define you. What are you absolutely unwilling to compromise on? Is it honesty? Loyalty? Hard work? Whatever it is, make it clear to yourself and to the world. Next, practice standing by those values even when it's tough. This means saying no when you want to say yes just to please others. It means holding your ground when everyone else is bending. Because true strength is about being consistent, not just convenient. And here's a secret. The stronger your core, the less power others have over you. You stop chasing approval and start commanding respect. So ask yourself, are you a cracked mirror reflecting others' opinions? Or are you a solid rock that powerful people can lean on? The choice is yours. But remember, when your core is cracked, powerful people will always look past you. When it's solid, they'll seek you out. Power respects strength that runs deep, not just on the surface. Habit 6. The echo of insecurity. Have you ever met someone who just seems unsure, not in what they say, but in how they say it? Their voice wavers, their eyes dart around, their body language screams hesitation. You might not hear the words, but you feel the insecurity echoing loud and clear. This is what I call the echo of insecurity. Insecurity isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. A subtle hesitation before speaking, a nervous laugh when no one asked for it, or a shaky hand when reaching for the microphone. But powerful people, they hear that echo immediately. It's like a radar for weakness. Why does this matter? Because power doesn't just respect strength, it hunts weakness. And insecurity is the weakest signal you can send. It's a magnet for being ignored, overlooked, or even pushed aside. Let me share a story. Imagine two people at a meeting. One speaks clearly with calm confidence. The other rambles, pauses often, and apologizes before even finishing a sentence. Guess who the boss listens to? The confident speaker every time. That's because confidence is like a language itself. Even if you're not sure inside, if you project certainty, people start to believe in you. They start to rely on you. They start to see you as someone who can handle the heat. Now, I'm not saying you have to be perfect or never feel insecure. Everyone feels it. But the key is don't broadcast it. Don't let that echo fill the room. So, how do you stop this echo? It starts with small wins. Practice speaking up in safe spaces. Stand a little taller. Look people in the eye. These tiny actions train your brain to believe in yourself. Confidence grows from action, not just thinking. Another tip: slow down. When we're insecure, we rush. We stumble over words. But when you slow your speech and breathe, your voice sounds steadier. People listen more closely when you sound calm and measured. And remember this: confidence isn't about never doubting yourself. It's about not letting doubt stop you. Powerful people don't wait to be sure. They move forward despite uncertainty. The echo of insecurity can be quiet, but it's powerful in a bad way. It sends a message that you don't trust yourself. And if you don't, why should others? If you want to stop being ignored, start by quieting that echo. Show the world that, even if you're not perfect, you are steady. You are strong. And you are worth listening to. Habit 7. The fairness fantasy. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "That's not fair"? Maybe it was at work, in your family, or even online. We all want things to be fair. It's natural. But here's the hard truth. Fairness is mostly a fantasy when it comes to real power. Powerful people don't waste time waiting for fairness. They know life isn't a level playing field. It's a game full of twists, turns, and surprises. If you hang your hopes on fairness, you're setting yourself up to be disappointed, over and over. Think about it this way. If you spend your energy demanding fairness, what are you really doing? You're focusing on what you can't control. And powerful people, they don't focus on what they can't control. They focus on what they can control: their actions, their mindset, their moves. I want you to imagine a ladder. The higher you want to climb, the less you should expect fairness from those above you. Sometimes the rules change. Sometimes others break the rules. Sometimes you get overlooked, passed over, or ignored. Not because you don't deserve better, but because life isn't fair. That's why powerful people don't look for fairness. Instead, they look for leverage. Leverage is about finding ways to use the situation, no matter how unfair it feels, to move forward. They ask, "What can I do right now to gain an advantage? How can I make this work for me?" Here's a story to make this clear. There was a young woman working hard in a company. She was always complaining about unfair promotions and office politics. But she kept waiting for someone to notice her and give her what she deserved. Months passed, and nothing changed. Meanwhile, a colleague who understood the game started building relationships with decision-makers. He learned how to position himself, even in unfair situations. Soon, he was promoted. She was left wondering why. That story shows the danger of the fairness fantasy. Waiting for fairness can make you passive, like a spectator hoping for justice. But powerful people play the game actively. They create their own opportunities. So, how do you break free from this fairness trap? First, accept that life is rarely fair. That's not being negative, it's being realistic. Then, stop complaining and start asking, "What's my next move?" Shift your energy from frustration to action. Remember, powerful people don't wait for fairness. They make their own path. And when you do that, you stop feeling like a victim and start becoming a force. Habit 8. Emotional transparency. Let's talk about emotions. We all have them. Anger, frustration, sadness, joy. They're part of being human. And being honest about how you feel, that sounds like a good thing, right? But here's the catch. Showing your emotions too openly, especially around powerful people, can actually work against you. Powerful people aren't interested in your raw feelings. They want control over themselves, their environment, and yes, sometimes even over you. When you lay your emotions bare for everyone to see, you're basically giving them your weaknesses on a silver platter. Imagine you're in a high-stakes meeting, and something rubs you the wrong way. Instead of keeping your cool, you let your frustration show. Maybe through a sharp tone, a frown, or an offhand comment. Powerful people pick up on that instantly. They don't just see frustration. They see an opening. an opening they can exploit to push you around or question your judgment later. Now, this isn't about pretending you don't have feelings. Far from it. It's about managing how and when you reveal them. Powerful people know the value of emotional discretion. They understand that showing vulnerability at the wrong time is like fighting with an open wound. So, how do you stop being emotionally transparent in a way that costs you respect? Start by catching yourself before you react. When emotions rise, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this the right moment to show this feeling? Usually, it's better to hold back and process it privately. Journaling can be a game changer here. Putting your feelings down on paper helps you understand them without broadcasting them to the world. It's like training your emotional muscles, building strength where it counts. When you do share your emotions, be intentional. Share with people you trust and only what serves your goals. Remember, powerful people respect emotional control. They don't look down on emotions, they just don't let them rule their actions. Master emotional transparency the right way, and you'll stop being seen as vulnerable. Instead, you'll be seen as someone steady, reliable, and yes, powerful. Habit 9. The mouth that bleeds power. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to lose respect? Not because of what they do, but because of how they talk. It's subtle. It's quiet. But it's powerful. I call this habit the mouth that bleeds power. This habit is about the little ways people give away their strength through their words. It happens when someone constantly apologizes, even when they don't need to, or when they use weak language like, I'm just, or maybe I'm wrong. But you might even hear it when they dismiss compliments or make self-deprecating jokes to try to fit in. At first, it might seem harmless. Maybe they think it makes them more likable or humble. But here's the truth. Powerful people notice these tiny leaks in your confidence. And when your words betray your strength, they start to see you as someone less worthy of respect. Think about it. When you hear a confident leader speak, their words are clear and strong. They don't water down their ideas. They don't apologize for having an opinion. They speak with intention. That's what commands attention and respect. Now, what happens when someone fills their speech with sorry, maybe, and I don't know? They sound unsure. They sound small. And people pick up on that. It creates a sense that this person doesn't truly believe in themselves. And if they don't believe in themselves, why should anyone else? But don't worry. This is something you can fix, and it starts with awareness. The next time you speak, listen closely to the words you use. Are you apologizing too much? Are you adding just? Or maybe, when you don't have to? Are you putting yourself down before others even have a chance? Try this instead. Speak clearly and with purpose. Remove the fillers and weak phrases. For example, instead of saying, I'm just wondering if maybe we could try this, say, let's try this. Notice the difference? It sounds confident. Sounds like you mean it. Over time, this simple shift will change how people see you, including the powerful people you want to impress. Your words will no longer bleed power, but radiate it. Remember, power is not just what you do, it's how you say it. Guard your words carefully, because they are one of your greatest tools in commanding respect. Habit 10. The identity drift. Have you ever caught yourself doing something and thought, wait, is this really me? Maybe you're agreeing with people just to avoid drama, or you're acting a certain way because it feels easier than standing your ground. If so, you're experiencing something I call the identity drift. It's like a slow leak in a boat. You don't notice it at first. Just little compromises here and there. A fake smile in a meeting. Saying yes when you want to say no. Ignoring your gut to keep the peace. Over time, those small things add up, and suddenly you're not sure who you really are anymore. Now, why does this matter? Because powerful people, whether bosses, influencers, or even family members, can sense this kind of drift from a mile away. They notice when someone doesn't have a strong sense of self. When you're drifting, you seem unreliable, easy to sway, or worse, invisible. Think about a time you met someone who was confident, steady, and authentic. You probably felt drawn to them, right? That's because they had an anchor, something real holding them steady. Powerful people value that. They want to work with people who won't crumble under pressure or change their colors depending on the crowd. But when your identity drifts, it's like you're floating without an anchor. And guess what? Powerful people don't want to rely on boats with holes in the hull. So how do you stop this drift before it pulls you too far? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to moments when you don't feel like yourself. Journal or just spend quiet time thinking about your values, what matters to you deeply. Next, set boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to disagree. Real strength is in standing firm, even when it's uncomfortable. Finally, surround yourself with people who support the real you. Not the version that changes to fit in or avoid conflict, but the one that's grounded, honest, and true. Remember, your identity is your power. When you lose that, powerful people lose interest. But when you own who you are, flaws, strengths, and all, you become impossible to ignore. So here's the truth. These habits might seem small or harmless, but powerful people notice them. And to them, these habits are like flashing warning signs. Signs that say, this person isn't ready for real influence. They can be ignored or pushed aside. But don't get discouraged. The best part is every one of these habits can be changed. You don't have to be perfect or fake. You just need to be aware. And you need to be willing to take small steps every day to build real strength from the inside out. Remember, power isn't about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself first. When you learn to manage these habits, you naturally earn respect, not by force, but by how you carry yourself, how you think, and how you act. If this video helped you see yourself a little clearer, then don't keep it to yourself. Hit the like button. It lets others find this message too. Subscribe for more honest talks about power, psychology, and personal growth. And please drop a comment below. Tell me which habit you're going to work on first. I'd love to hear your story, because self-awareness is the first step to real change. And real change, that's where your power begins.